Vanakkam. Welcome to the Yogic Lens. This video is about an advanced yogic practice called Bandhas. Understand the different types of Bandhas, how it influences the internal muscles of your functional systems, how it burns impurities from your body, and how it directs the vital energy, the prana, into your subtler body, and also understand how it brings about a spiritual evolution by breaking the granthis, the obstruction in your nadis. Most of the physical fitness regimes works on your outer musculoskeletal system. Yoga is the only one that suggests practices to work on your internal muscles as well. Bandhas are one such practice where you work on your internal muscles. I would like to give you a disclaimer alert here. Bandhas are a very advanced practice. The goal of this video is to understand the science behind it and to understand how to practice it to achieve the physical and physiological benefit. If you are aiming at spiritual evolution using Bandhas, you should be learning it directly from your teacher, from your guru. Let us now see the what, the why and the how. What are Bandhas? Why we need to do the Bandhas and how to do it. And end of the video, we will have a small practice on how to practice all three Bandhas together as part of your breathing exercises. Bandhas are neuromuscular locks that you employ into your internal muscles of your body to direct the prana through nadis. Nadis are channels that carry pranas in your subtler body. To understand more about nadis, please watch my another video on Nadi Shodhana pranayama. The link for that video is given in the description below. Let us now understand the etymology of the word bandha. Bandha means to lock or to bind something. Let us think about some examples like where we lock or bind certain things. We do lock or bind certain things to avoid wastages. Wastages could be in the form of material or wastage could be in the form of prana, the vital energy. Here in this practice, exactly that is what we are doing. We are containing the enormous energy, the prana, within our system, employing bandhas. Think about an example of a child who is very naughty. What do the parents do? The parents, in order to control the enormous rajasic energy the child possesses, they give something called timeout, right? They make the kid to sit in one place, bind the kid to one place to contain the enormous energy. We have heard about stories from Bhagavata Purana where Lord Krishna is being tied by his mother Yashoda to contain the enormous energy and to direct the energy through proper channels. That is exactly what we do here by the usage of bandhas. Now let us understand the three different types of bandhas. There are several bandhas of which we are going to talk about three important types of bandhas. Bandhas can be practiced as part of your asana or it can be practiced when you are doing your pranayama. When you are practicing as part of your pranayama, bandhas are held or employed during the kumbhaka part. Kumbhaka means during the holding part. Any pranayama has got four components. The inhale, which is the puraka, inhale hold, which is the antar kumbhaka, exhale, which is the rechaka, or exhale hold, which is the bahya kumbhaka. So bandhas are held during the inhale hold or during the exhale hold. Let us now first see the first bandha which we are going to talk about called Jaalandhara bandha. Let's see the etymology of it. Jala means net. Dhara means to hold. This is also called as chin lock because this influences your neck region. There is a network of nadis that are present in your neck region and this bandha contains the prana within that network of nadis. Hence the name Jaalandhara bandha. This is done on inhale hold, which is the antar kumbhaka. We will see how to do all these bandhas end of this video. The second bandha is Uddiyana bandha, otherwise called as core lock. Ud means to lift, to raise up. Hence the name Uddiyana. This bandha is employed at your abdominal region, where you pull the navel inside towards the spine and then take it little in the upward direction. Uddiyana bandha is always practiced on the hold after exhale, which is the Bahya Kumbhaka. Then the third bandha is called Moola bandha or pelvic lock or root lock. This bandha is employed at the root place where enormous amount of Kundalini Shakti is stored. Hence the name Moola bandha. This is also employed during hold after exhale, or advanced practitioners who are using the bandhas for spiritual benefit hold the bandha throughout the pranayama practices. Let us now understand why we need to do these bandhas. Let us understand the influence at the physical and the physiological level. A major issue people face as part of aging or part of other illnesses is prolapse of the internal organs. Sometimes rectum prolapsing into the anal passage, uterus prolapsing into vagina, urinary bladder prolapse. So these prolapse happens because the pelvic floor that is holding these internal organs generally weakens. As you see in this picture, you can see the pelvic floor muscle which are holding all the internal organs of your excretory system and the reproductive system. Think about this pelvic floor as a hammock holding all these organs. If this hammock gets weakened, all these internal organs sags, like how our facial muscles sag, our arm muscles are sagging. The internal muscles of these organs also sags over a period of time. This could be for various reasons. It could be due to prolonged constipation, or it could be vaginal delivery, or it could be just part of aging. We are not interested in the reason, but all we know is if you can strengthen this pelvic floor muscles, you will be able to hold these internal organs in place without it prolapsing. So this is the major influence of practicing bandhas, especially the Uddiyana bandha and Moola bandha strengthens the muscles which holds all these internal organs. Now let us understand the influence of bandhas at your pranic level, at your physiological level. As you see in this picture, the torso is here divided into 3 divisions based upon the functions: the respiratory process, the digestive process, and then the excretory process. And there are particular prana that operate in each and every region. To understand this, you should be knowing about the 5 pranas that works on your system. There is a separate video on the Pancha Pranas, the 5 Vayus. The link for that is also in the description here below. Please do watch it to understand the Pancha Pranas, the 5 pranas that work on your system. So now here, the respiratory system, the prana is the predominant Vayu in the respiratory system. And when you take the midsection, where you have the abdominal organs, Samana Vayu is the predominant Vayu. And the third part where you show the where you have the excretory organs, the Apana Vayu is the predominant Vayu. When you are practicing bandha, say starting with the Jaalandhara bandha, when you do the chin lock, the prana is contained within and is directed towards the Agni, which is the fire, which is the Jatra Agni, or the fire that helps your functional process, helps your digestive process. So the prana is directed towards the fire when you do the chin lock. And when you do the Uddiyana bandha, where you pull the navel inside and contract and take it little upward direction, the Samana Vayu is generated, which actually assimilates the nutrients from your food that you digest. And it also contains the prana within you without going waste. And when you practice the Moola bandha, what happens? The prana is directed towards the Agni again to burn the impurities. So whatever waste that goes in the form of apana is actually contained little upward direction when you do the Moola bandha and the Uddiyana bandha, and keep it close to the digestive fire so that all the toxins are eliminated from your body. This is a kind of a process that not only happens at the physiological level but also at the pranic level. Now let us see how to do all these three bandhas. I will go through the steps now, and then end of the video we will have a small practice. So let's start with Jaalandhara Bandha. Jaalandhara Bandha, as the name suggests, it is the chin lock. So you start by sitting in a comfortable position with your back straight, kind of sitting from the base of the spine, keeping your torso nice and long. Nice good amount of inhalation. Lengthen your neck and then drop the chin down towards the chest. Remember, this is not neck down, whereas chin tucked in. And hold this bandha for how many ever seconds you can comfortably hold. Always do not push your inhale hold capacity. Just hold how much ever time you are comfortably, your own Yatha Shakti. And then when you are ready to release the bandha, first release the bandha and then exhale. So let me repeat. You are lengthening your neck and then dropping the inhaling and then dropping the chin down towards the chest, and you are holding the bandha while you are holding the breath as well. So this is Jaalandhara Bandha. Let us now go through the enormous benefits that Jaalandhara Bandha brings about in our system. The first and foremost, when you are having the chin lock, your spine is aligned exactly as a straight line, in the sense with its natural curve. Your internal organs are arranged one over the other. When you are employing the Jaalandhara Bandha, you can notice that you can never slouch. You have to keep your back straight when the chin is like kind of tucked in. So this also helps your internal functional process of your respiratory system and your digestive system, because like all the organs are aligned one over the other. This is at the physical level. At the physiological level, the prana, it is directed towards the Agni. So when you are keeping your back straight and the chin locked, the prana is contained within. That is the very purpose of doing these bandhas, to contain the prana within your system. Another benefit at the physical level is, when you employ the Jaalandhara Bandha, it stimulates your thyroid function. The mild pressure that is given at your thyroid gland regulates your thyroidal hormones. Another important benefit is it also gives a mild pressure to your carotid sinus, which is part of your carotid artery, which carries blood to your brain. So it slows down your blood pressure by giving that mild pressure in your carotid sinus. Another important benefit is during Antar Kumbhaka, when you are doing the Jaalandhara Bandha, you will be able to hold the breath for a longer period of time. You can test it for yourself. If your normal inhale hold is say for 10 seconds, when you employ the Jaalandhara Bandha, you will be able to hold for little longer. And above all, at the mental level, doing Jaalandhara Bandha brings a state of one-pointedness. It prepares you for meditation. Now let us see the contraindication. People who have heart condition or high BP should avoid Jaalandhara Bandha, even though it reduces the BP, but then it may be a strain to the heart when you are holding the breath for that long time during the Jaalandhara Bandha. And another thing is, like, if you're having some kind of a cervical issue, neck issue, then holding Jaalandhara Bandha also becomes difficult. Let us now see the Uddiyana Bandha. Uddiyana Bandha is done on the hold after exhale. You employ your abdominal region. After the inhale hold, halfway after you start exhalation, you start pulling the navel inside, contracting the abdomen, taking the navel all the way in towards your spine, and then give a kind of an upward lift as if you are pulling the navel in the upward direction, and then hold after exhalation. Hold the bandha and the breath after the exhalation. At this point, the samana vayu is generated, which actually assimilates the nutrients from the food you eat, and the prana is contained within. When you are ready to release the bandha, first relax the abdominal first, then take the inhalation. So the benefits of Uddiyana Bandha is it strengthens all the abdominal organs in your core region. In general, it gives a good strength to your core and strengthens all the internal organs at your abdominal region. At the physiological level, Uddiyana Bandha improves the stimulation of the internal secretions from the pancreas, liver, and all your abdominal organs. And it also improves a very good blood supply to the internal organs. Contraindications, people who are pregnant should avoid doing Uddiyana Bandha, and people who have any kind of abdominal ulcer issues like colitis or irritable bowel syndrome should avoid Uddiyana Bandha, because it generates so much of heat. It generates the Agni, the fire that is required in the process, and that may aggravate further your ulcer condition or your IBS or irritable bowel syndrome condition. So you should avoid that. Now the third important bandha is Moola Bandha. Let us see how to do Moola Bandha. When you are locking at the top, you lock at the bottom as well in order to contain the energy. So you do normal inhalation, and on exhalation you can combine this with Uddiyana Bandha. You pull the navel inside, contract the abdomen. At the same time, start contracting your pelvic floor muscles. Pull the entire perineum region upwards. This is something like as if you are stopping the flow of urination. What kind of muscles you will use if you want to stop the flow of urination? Exactly those muscles are used to hold the perineum little up, little above. This will burn the toxins from the impurities that are generated in the apana region, and actually helps your excretory process. There are several benefits for Moola Bandha. At the physical level, this bandha helps strengthening the reproductive organs, uterus for women, prostate gland for men, and avoids any kind of prolapse, as we already saw about how internal organs prolapsing down. Moola Bandha avoids that kind of prolapse. And at the pranic level, it keeps the impurities close to the fire. That is, it keeps the impurities, the mala, close to the Agni. At the spiritual level, Moola Bandha is an advanced practice for raising your prana shakti, the kundalini power. To work on the spiritual level, you have to work with the teacher and not to attempt on your own. Now, all these bandhas can be incorporated as part of your asana. Like how you are practicing as part of your pranayama, you can also practice all these asana, all these bandhas as part of your pranayama. In fact, there are certain asanas that naturally holds this bandhas. For example, Dvipada Pitam, the bridge pose, has the chin lock, the Jaalandhara Bandha naturally coming in. The chin is stuck towards the chest in the asana Dvipada Pitam. And then you have the Sarvangasana, the shoulder stand, where all three bandhas can be employed. Your chin lock, Jaalandhara Bandha comes naturally, and then after you reach the posture, after you reach the Sarvangasana, one can start working on the breath, and on exhalation you can start pull the navel inside, contracting the abdomen, and reach Uddiyana Bandha, and also employ the Moola Bandha. Moola Bandha comes very naturally because already the body is in an inversion state. You can easily employ all three bandhas in the Sarvangasana if you are a asana practitioner. Then there are other asanas where you can employ the bandhas. One other asana is the Adho Mukha Shvanasana, the downward facing dog. That is also kind of has a half inversion. So employing bandhas will be much more easier. And then you have the Shirasasana. In that also you can employ all three bandhas, and it helps very much for the spiritual evolution, to breaking the obstruction in your nadis, which are called as granthis. So you are actually, the aim is to generate the prana, generate the kundalini shakti against the gravity. So when you are in these inversions, employing bandhas comes really helpful. There are other bandhas in yogic practices. When you employ all three bandhas together, it is called as Mahabandha. And then there is another important bandha called Jihva Bandha, where you stimulate your throat region, your neck region, where you take your tongue all the way up into your upper palate. This is also a a practice which has benefits both at the physical level and at the spiritual level. We will talk about this bandha in detail in one other video. Now we will have a small practice to understand and to guide you through employing all three bandhas together as part of your breathing pattern, as part of your pranayama practice. Sit comfortably with your back straight. Gentle breathing, effortless breathing to start with. Now we are going to do all three bandhas in progression. First breath we are going to employ Jaalandhara bandha. Then we will employ, in the second breath we will add Uddiyana bandha, and in the third we will add the Moola bandha. Now one normal breath. Inhale now deeply. Exhale completely. Now inhale, lengthen your neck. Gently drop the chin down towards the chest. Tucking your chin. You are not dropping the neck down but tucking your chin. Hold the breath here. Gently relax the bandha first. Exhale. Normal exhalation. Now we are going to add Uddiyana bandha to the practice. Now again inhale. Lengthen your neck. Drop the chin down and hold the Jaalandhara bandha on the inhale hold. Antar Kumbhaka. Now when you are ready to exhale, start pulling the navel inside, contracting the abdomen all the way and take the navel little upward direction. Now hold in this position. You are in Uddiyana bandha. Your comfortable amount of time, maybe 4 seconds. Now first release the abdominal muscles, then take the inhalation. Let's repeat this now. Inhale now deeply. Chin is dropped down, holding Jaalandhara bandha. Now start exhaling. Pull the navel inside, contract the abdomen all the way, take it little upward direction, caving in your abdomen inside. Hold after exhale. Gently relax the abdominal muscles first, then take the inhalation. Now we are going to add the Moola bandha also to the practice. Inhale now. Lengthen your neck. Chin is dropped down towards the chest, holding Jaalandhara bandha. Now start exhaling. Pull the navel inside, contract the abdomen. Also contract the pelvic floor, entire perineum region. Hold after exhale. Relax. Release the bandhas first before you take the inhalation. Always relax the bandhas before you take the next inhalation. Let's do this one more time. Inhale. Drop your chin towards the chest. Tucking your chin. Keep your back straight. You are holding Jaalandhara bandha. Start exhaling now. As you pull the navel inside, contract the abdomen. Take the navel little up. At the same time, contract your pelvic floor muscles, entire perineum region. Hold after exhale. 4, Om 3, Om 2, Om 1. Relax all the bandhas. Then take the inhalation. Relax now. So this is how you incorporate bandhas into the pranayama practice. Bandhas can be incorporated to any pranayama. As part of Nadi Shodhana you can do, or as part of like Ujjayi breathing, Anulom Ujjayi or Viloma Ujjayi, you can incorporate bandhas into the practice. Thank you for listening. If you are interested in similar videos where we talk about each and every yogic practices, understand the science behind it, the benefits and contraindication, please do subscribe to my channel. We will meet in the next video. Thank you.